Let me find some news while I get started. There we go. The fucking BBC. I would rather read the back of a fucking shampoo bottle when I'm in the bathroom, but what can you do? What can you do? We've got to work with what we're given by the state. I mean, they don't listen to us when we tell them what we want politically, so why would they listen to us in our entertainment options? Nobody wants to watch Strictly Come Dancing or the BBC News when it's nothing but communist propaganda. But we are what we are. You have the illusion of choice, don't you? That's Great Britain. You have the illusion of choice. You think you can vote Conservative, but when you vote Conservative and you tell them, I mean, the clue's in the name, the party has a title, the Conservative Party. You vote for the Conservative Party and you get the Communist Party, right? Bit weird, that, isn't it? There's no choice. So, yeah, suck it up, boys and girls. The illusion of choice is all we have. I have updated my sound. I'm sure the audio sounds good today, right? I downloaded a new program, updated it. Logitech G Hub. The microphone needed updating. It should sound perfectly good today. Also, it's got sound effects on it. I want to test if this works. Can you hear this? Like if I was to say, Susan. Did that work? Hopefully it did. Yeah, you did get the sound effect, right? That's supposed to be whenever I say the name, the creature growls. If you didn't, I don't know why. Now there was no sound effect. Oh, that's annoying. It's supposed to, from now on, when I say it, it goes roar. It's got like some sort of sampler in the background. I'll have to figure out how you assign it to a key. I got it in my ears, but I didn't get it on the screen. Weird, that, innit? Ah, well, I'll figure it out one of these days. There's some good ones, you know. There's ones like where, like an air raid siren and applause and shit. You got an effect that makes you sound English. No, unless we've got Northern Scum to newsreader filter. I don't think there is one of them, no. There's a lot of filters on here. There's ones where you can change your voice. But sounds like the applauses and the horns and shit doesn't seem to do anything. Weird. I'll have to figure it out. Anyway, there you go. Fuck 'em. At least the audio's fixed. There are filters. Oh, you got the fog on. You did get that, right? No? Or are you talking to me? Or is that just a coincidence that I played the fog on and somebody used the term fog on? Yeah, sound effect output. I'll have to have a look. Let me have a look. Settings. Firmware's up to date. Anyway, although no, fuck it. I'm not doing it now. Terry, I'll end up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm a big believer in that principle, because there's times when I've had something working quite well. Say you're deployed and there's some small bit of equipment like a radio that works perfectly, but when you turn it on, you have to slightly adjust the angle or you have to bang it on the fucking wall. People who try to fix those things always fuck them up forever. So I'm a big believer in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working all right, then we'll leave it at that. But yeah, there is a filter for robots and aliens, and you can change your gender apparently. But there isn't one for Northern Scum to posh BBC Trevor McDonald newsreader. So can't get that to work, unfortunately. Right, enough techno babble. What else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah, all right. So I dug out some. I started drawing some as well. I come up with a concept, which I'll leave until I've finished it because it takes a bit of time to scan them and color them and do all of that bollocks. Probably doesn't take you that much time if you're a seasoned professional, but when you spent all of your time learning how to shoot guns and stab people and blow things up, and your drawing was merely a hobby, sort of like your broadcasting career, when it's always been a hobby, you can't expect to be the most professional about it. Yes, ECM, Jimmy. When the ECM was working, as long as you tilted it at a funny angle, I did learn not to touch the ECM. Anybody who got the Leatherman out and went, oh, you have to put it at a funny angle to make it work, I'll fix it. Well, then you had no fucking ECM. Then it ended up in 11 pieces on the fucking floor. So yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We'll leave it how it is. Right. So artwork. Let me just show you what I've got. So if you haven't seen it, obviously I've got the original penwork from my intro video, right? You've all seen that. So you can have that. I'll let the winner choose. You can have that, fucker. Or this one, I don't know if everybody's seen it, but I did do some Christmas cards. I think I put them up on Redbubble. You go on Redbubble and type in Angry Bootneck. I did put them up on there. Obviously, like I said, I don't really care about merchandise and all that shit because seriously, you should see how much they rob the poor bastards that try and do it for a living. If you fucking go on Redbubble and you sell anything, those of you that have bought t-shirts and stuff, like, obviously I appreciate it, but more because I like the idea of someone wandering around with some of my artwork emblazoned on the chest rather than making money from it. Because let me tell you, you don't make any money from merch unless you print it yourself, pack it yourself, and ship it yourself. I think from a t-shirt on Redbubble, if someone spends 19 quid on a t-shirt, I get about £1. Like it's less than 10%. It's shocking. So I've never really bothered to push the merch thing either. But yeah, for those of you that haven't seen it, I'm just popping this up just so you can see it rather than because I'm trying to hawk anything. Because seriously, save your fucking money. I don't make anything from it. That's the artwork, obviously, that was gone on the card I made. You can have that fucking thing if you care. What else have I got? This piece here was the original concept that I did for a Christmas card. And I sent these to the lads when I went home on my last deployment. I got them printed and I sent some over to the boys. It's politically incorrect, so I don't want to blow it up too big. But here's the original. Let's have a look. Can you see that? There we go. There, that is my that's my bootneck. Basically, it's a Christmas tree with the dead Taliban on it. Specifically, you have to say Taliban because I've had a few strikes about this, and they're like, "Whoa, you can't fucking do that, you cunt," as if hate crime. But it's soldiers deployed in Afghanistan, so obviously not just random people. Yeah, it's the Taliban. Yeah, so it's a Christmas tree made of the Taliban. So I've got the original concept art from one of my pieces I was making when I was out in Afghanistan, which is that. You can have that as well. That was obviously, they're all Christmas themed. So that's meant to be a snowman made out of sand. And obviously he's got a stick of dynamite for a fucking nose and a fake beard on. Again, not politically correct, but I'm sure if you're watching this channel, not really a cup of tea anyway, is it politically correct cartoonry? And finally, I've got a third one. This one, I think I just randomly drew this when I was out in Afghanistan. So it's an old one. I did sign it. It says Matt 07 on it. So this is old. It's a pass out parade. In the Marines, you do a pass out parade. It says, proud day for visiting families as Taliban Troop 786 pass out of basic training. And obviously, if you can see there's a set of feet, and then the guy's like, let's have a big round of applause for, obviously that bloke covered in claret is just readying himself, and apparently it's just dawned on the bloke on the end what your pass out parade entails when you join the Taliban, which is sort of also it is thematically wrong because the Taliban typically weren't suicide bombers. They used to have stupid people to do that. But anyway, there you go, 3 bits of shit art. Tomorrow I will bring up my PayPal list with everybody's fucking names on, and I'll pick one at random. And as I've said, I'm not trying to make any money because I don't make any fucking money. You'll see when I upload, because I'll do everything transparently. That's what the Bootneck does. I'll put my senders list on PayPal. It's easy to do. And you can see, I think I've probably made about 90 quid in the last 3 months. Like, fuck all. So I'll stick that up. Everybody who's sent me £1 or more can have the name in the fucking hat, and we'll do a random number generator to see who gets one. All right? Yeah, don't care about money, but I'm sure somebody wants it. People seem pleased when I send them this shit and put them on the wall. Also, if I do get killed or, inevitably drink myself to death, They might be worth some money. It'd be like when artists die, the value goes up. I like the idea of me being dead and my worthless scribblings finally being worth some money. So yeah, it's more about the immortality by art. Like I said, I like the idea of people wearing a t-shirt. It's not because you make any fucking money of it. I'd send you a donation, but I don't want the Canadians freezing my assets. Yeah, well, I'm an American now. I might not sound like it, but I am. And yeah, if anyone's interested, the links should be in the description on YouTube, right? Unless I'm being a fucking idiot. Right, let's get rid of that and go back to the news. Come on, you cunt. There we go. US claims fucking how much legwork are they getting out of this invasion? It's been all you get out of the news for the fucking 3 weeks now. What's that? Hey Boot, when can I send your one-off orc avatar so you can sell the fucker for a dash tournament? A one-off orc avatar? I don't fully understand what that means. A dash ornament or a dashboard ornament, right? Okay. Salvador Dali for me. Yeah, I'm good, mate. You can PM me anywhere you like. On my Telegram channel, maybe PM me on there. Somebody else set it up. I set one up, but I never administer it. So I'm going to run with everybody else's, which is the Angry Bootneck's mess hall. How do I share that one with everybody? Let me have a look. View group info. I'll put it up if I can find a link to it. Or somebody send me a fucking link. I don't know. Whatever you want. Can I share that on StreamYard? I'll have a look. Look. Share. No, that's bollocks. All right, no, I don't know how to do that. But there's a Telegram channel. You can get me on Twitter, Facebook. Fucking hell. It's not like I'm out to send a DM, is it? I've even got my email up there, I think. mattyrm@gmail.com. Easy. mattyrm@gmail.com. Or you can check out the Angry Bootneck website. I think there's a PM facility on there as well. Let's have a look at that. I think it's the first thing you find on Google if you type in the Angry Bootneck. I mean, fucking hell. How many can there be in the world? If there's more than one Angry Bootneck in the world, I'll be very, very surprised. Oh my God, that's shocking. See, it doesn't even come up on it's like 10 down on Google. Chris Thrall pops up before me. That's weird, isn't it? I guess everybody's at it. You've got to go to the second page to find angrybootneck.com. That's well tight. Anyway, there it is. I need to take some advertising lessons off Chris Thrall. Look, angrybootneck.com's there. A very angry website. Comic and curious, naturally furious. And this is the Angry Bootneck covers news and politics in his own inimitable style. He likes to behave as if everything is good-humoured and off the cuff, but many of his observations are intelligent and insightful. His monologues walk the line between astute political commentary and comedy, sort of like The Daily Show or The MASH Report, except with more swearing and less communism. Also, he's very handsome and he's got a cock like a Sky TV remote. The Angry Bootneck's mother. Again, long-time listeners are probably aware that my mother is no longer with us. So I'm holding my hands up. I did write that. If you couldn't figure that out, you probably can't operate a laptop device or a tablet. But yeah, that wasn't my mother. I was inventing quotes. I was inventing quotes for my own nefarious purposes. And I definitely haven't got a cock like a Sky TV remote. It's more like a AAA battery. You all know that. It's more like one of those little yellow ear defenders. If you roll it up, you just got to put it in. Yeah, a little yellow ear defender ready for insertion. So yeah, I like to think she'd endorse it. Yeah, if my own mother wouldn't, who would? Who would? Right. So yeah, you can get me on any of them avenues: Twitter, Facebook, website, easy. And links to my PayPal and all that shit are in the links on YouTube. as far as I'm aware. Anyway, right, I don't want to spend any more time shilling. But if you want some shit art, throw your fucking hat in the ring and I'll draw it tomorrow. All right? Marvellous. Right, let's do some news. I don't want to talk about the farmers who grow ice. We could talk about that. The Apple boss facing backlash over a £73 million pay package. This is a great thing to talk about because it perfectly illustrates what's gone wrong with the fucking world in general and the rank hypocrisy of the fucking idiots that make up, well, I was going to say the woke, but to be honest, by now, looking at what's happened where Biden's the president in America and Trudeau is the prime minister in Canada, I suppose I'll just have to say the general public. Wales is fucked. Scotland's fucked. Seriously, I know I'm being arrogant about this, being English as well as British, but English more than Scottish or Welsh. The English deserve much more credit than the Scottish or the Welsh. And I know I got an angry one off one of you Scotsmen yesterday, and I was clear to point out in yesterday's video that I'm fully aware that 30% of Scotland's conservatively or right-wing. But England deserve more credit than the rest of the fucking Union and Northern Ireland. Because England and Northern Ireland have consistently been far more centrist and right of centre than Scotland and Wales. So I'm not even doing any childish, oh yeah, fucking hell, England's better than Wales or any of that bollocks. I don't think it is. I don't have any real national pride for England as opposed to Wales and Scotland. I'm a product of the 70s and the 80s. And, you know, I'm a big believer in the Union. Hence, I've got a Union Jack on my avatar there. But if it really comes down to it, England deserves more credit than Scotland and Wales. Because Scotland and Wales have a far higher contingency of shit for brains communists. So is that not something where you deserve a little credit? France is the same. The reason France is more of a shithole than England is because France has continually been woke. Oh, it was Dipro. I was joking with that yesterday. Yeah, I'm sure you were. All comments to the bootneck, I totally accepted. Whether you're calling my mother a fucking whore or whatever you like, I don't care. And I take all of them with the humour. I'm sure most of the insults are intended. But what I'm getting at is England does deserve more credit than Scotland and Wales. And if that upsets you in any way, fucking suck it up, buttercup. Look at the demographics. Look what's happened in Scotland. Scotland has had all the advantages of the Union. The Barnett formula, whether or not I'm not even going to go into the line of talking about, oh yeah, England pays for Scotland, possibly right, the Barnett formula, but I'm not even going to go down that line. You can definitely say when oil and gas was at its height, it certainly did employ a lot of people in the northeast. Fucking hell. They used to call them the Borough Mafia because in Aberdeen, fucking half the oil rigs were Borough lads. Borough lads, Geordies, Mackhams and monkey hangers. Basically made up half of the thing. So I've got a soft spot for Scotland. I'm not saying it doesn't contribute to the fucking Union. Great. The system worked. Loads of good Scottish regiments deployed in Afghanistan and Iraq. We fought alongside Scottish brothers and sisters making the fucking empire. I'm a unionist because I read history books and I'm well aware that they took to it with gusto. The communists lie about it. The communists lie and make out as if the Union... I mean, you talk to the average Scottish nationalist who's just been lied to all of his life, and they seem to think England invaded Scotland in like 1930. Right? Just a load of fucking Geordies just marched north of the wall in 1930. I mean, how are then, you Scotch twats? And started dishing the beats out. They don't fucking realise that the Scots took to the empire with gusto. And as David Starkey points out, they were some of the worst fucking administrated regions when the jocks had the fucking run of the mill. So that was not to be blamed on us. The Union of England and Scotland is centuries old. It didn't happen in 1930. It was what? Catch myself out now. 17 or 1600, 400 fucking year ago or some shit. And that's why Robbie Burns says, bought and sold for English gold. It was because a Scottish colony failed. Took them into fucking bankruptcy. But they put something like 50% of the national wealth into this half-assed colony. It failed miserably, and then they nearly went fucking bankrupt. So that's why there's a union between England and Scotland. It was money. A load of fucking hairy-assed Englishmen didn't march north of Hadrian's Wall and start stabbing women in 1930 as if they were dragged into it, kicking and screaming. 1701, so yeah, 400 fucking years. Nearly. Right. Fucking ages. It wasn't 1930 or 1830. 1707. So don't talk bollocks. Almost the entirety of the British Empire, the Scottish were at it with gusto. And now the SNP teach lies to children because they want to say that all the shit the British Empire got up to had nothing to do with Scotland, as if they just got took against the will in 1900s. You didn't, lads. 1707. And the real height of the British Empire, there was Scotsmen and women pitching in like everybody else. So stop fucking whinging. If you hadn't gone bankrupt, because as fucking usual, you don't know how to handle the purse strings, there wouldn't be a union. Didn't invade, we fucking bought you. So stop fucking dripping. And I'm well aware, as I've said many times, the Northeast is bad as fucking Scotland. My theory is that, and again, I haven't read this anywhere, this is just my version of from all the history books I've read and coming to the inevitable conclusion. I think no historian's willing to say it. I think the fiery, passionate people from up north, it's that Celtic fringe, whatever you want to call it, for some reason, us northerners were just more at the whims of our passions. And all the sensible people from down south, the home counties, the ones who went to the big universities, they were the officers and they were the thinkers and they were the planners. And the real bread and butter of the military was Yorkshire, the North, Scotland. That's why it worked so well. We had educated men doing the thinking, and we had passionate, fiery daft cunts like me and Scotland as a whole doing the killing, right? That's why it worked. So the system works. I think the system has worked for the last fucking 370 fucking years or whatever it's been, and there's no need for us to upset the apple cart. Scottish kids are getting lied to in schools because the SNP have done what they always do and what communists always do and rewritten the history books. I remember being genuinely astounded when I was on the piss in Edinburgh. I took my missus to Edinburgh about 10 years ago. So this is early doors for the SNP having total control of Scotland. And I remember being really surprised by the big museum in the middle of Edinburgh, because they had a whole top floor that was basically devoted to Scottish nationalism and lies. There was like blown up quotes from Thatcher on the wall, like, oh, the Scottish people are lazy and indolent. And I was like, did she actually say that? There was like an entire floor of the National Museum of Scotland or whatever it was, right in the middle of Edinburgh. And it was just hatred. And that's what they've done to the school curriculum in Scotland for the last 10 years. They're teaching kids to hate. And I'll segue from that into a story about teaching children to hate. That I shared it on my Twitter page so I wouldn't forget about it, because I want to talk about this. Oh yeah, I haven't finished my Tim Cook story. Well, blah, blah. Let's just go quickly. This makes me laugh because Tim Cook's fucking company makes billions and billions in profit. And if them cunts make 3 billion in profit, and as a result of that, it's tied to the package for Tim Cook and he gets 70 million quid. Well, that seems fair to me. He'll be paying a massive amount of income tax on it. And the company's profitable. So stop dripping. You cunts, as usual, champagne socialist wankers that you are, love Apple. You fucking love Apple. The woke love Apple. You've all got iPhones, you've all got iPads, you've all got Macs. You fucking love Apple. Every new phone comes out, you buy it. So if you cunts don't want Tim Cook to get a 73 million pound pay package, stop buying their shit. Must you be unendingly hypocritical? You say you don't like big corporations, but you fucking love them. And all they do is exploit the workers, take the piss, make everything in China, dodge the taxes, but then every now and then put out a tweet and say, BLM, and you, thick twats that you are, lap it up like fucking Ben and Jerry's. You lap it up like fucking New York cheesecake on a hot day. Like Diane Abbott in Greg's after she's at the work late and she hasn't eaten for 4 hours. Yeah. Fucking, you can imagine that fat heifer lump going to town on a jumbo sausage roll, 2 or 3 steak bakes, and like 6 fucking breakfast butties. You love it. So stop being a bunch of cunts. Again, why do you attack people for your own problems? You do this. You are the ones who buy all of Apple's product. It's the woke. You love them more than anyone. Conservatives are like me. I've got an iPhone, but I get 3 years out the fuckers. I've got an iWatch, but again, I get a couple of years out of them. I don't feel the need to fucking replace everything. Shut the fuck up, watch. Look at that. I only mentioned it and it's piping up. Fuck off. I get like 3 or 4 years out of a phone. I treat myself after about 4 years. I treat myself and get a new one. You're the cunts who buy it every 6 months. Ooh, I need to get the iPhone 13. Don't fucking gob off. The people who should be gobbing off, i.e. conservatives, because we don't like woke companies, we just leave them at it. It's like, yeah, Tim Cook's making a shitload of money, but he probably fucking earns it because his company's profitable. As long as a company's profitable, I'm happy. I just see the big picture rather than thinking about it. If the company's massively profitable, we're all happy. They'll keep employing people, working class people. The rich middle class wankers, the richer ones, they'll pay more taxes. The company will pay more taxes. It's a great American company. It's a great American brand. I'm happy. I'm not slagging Apple off just because the woke cunts. But this is what I'm saying. The people who should hate Apple, me, because they act woke all the time, I'm happy to see them fucking go because I'm a capitalist and I'm a conservative centrist and I just want to see the world carry on going. The people pay the taxes. The system works. Our kids get fed. They get educated. Fucking blah, blah, ad nauseum. You are the arseholes who keep going on about it. Now, I have to disagree with all of the comments. Again, what did I say? Conservatives don't want to fucking go feed Apple, do they? Ragnar and John and fucking Alan and Sadwings and everybody else. Apple isn't shit. For the simple fact, as I've told you, I'm quite tech savvy for a bootneck. I made my own PC. I stayed with Android for about 11 years. The reason Apple's shit's good is because it syncs well. I've got Apple earpods when I want to go for a run. If you fucking stick them in and you turn your watch on and you just go for a run, it records it, it plays your music, it just works. If you buy the cheap, shitty alternatives, which I had for 10 years, it's a fuck on. You try to like sync them up and it takes ages. You end up going, and then you have to, like, I've got here on my desk, I've got these shitty skull candy ones. The reason they're forgotten about is because every time I try to turn them on, the bastard things don't work. All Apple shit syncs together. The phone, the watch, and the earphones all sync neatly, and they just work. Again, I don't want to have a disagreement about tech. It's not a tech channel, but yeah, Android's all right. I had Samsung for about 8 years. But when I took the plunge and finally got an iPhone, it worked better. They just talk to each other. It's not that they're a better product, it's that they're synchronized nicely. I don't have a Mac because they do rip you off with laptops and PCs. You built your PC, that explains everything. Yeah, there you go. I built the cunt, but at least I built it. I watched a few YouTube videos, ordered all the parts off Newegg and Amazon and eBay, and built the fucker. And I got a Gucci, at least on paper, a Gucci PC that if you bought it from Apple is 3 times the price. Yeah, so I don't go the whole hog, but phone, watch, headphones, good shit. Yes, they spy on me. Don't really care that much. Again, I'm not an extremist. People like Sadwings, I'm assuming, are the ones who've got a fucking generator, a bunker like John Matrix. So if anyone knocks on his door, he can see it through like a little spy hole and then go into his fucking underground bunker, select one of his many weapons from his shed wall, and then start throwing razor blades through people's heads and, you know, kicking up some shit. I'm a centrist. I do the basics. I stay fit. I stay healthy. I'll keep 30 days MREs if it looks like there's going to be a fucking colossal clusterfuck. And I'll fill up my bathtub. I bought one of those. I've got a few Life straws and I've got one of those Gucci blow up tubs that can hold like 40 gallons of water. So if like it seems like we're going to get nuked or something, I can fill it up and have like enough drinking water to last me for 6 months. I'm a centrist, reasonable chap. I'm not a prepper, but I'm not an anti-prepper. I'm a bit of a prepper. I've got a gun. I've got loads of ammo. I've got a nice survival knife and a compass and some various tools and survival equipment. I've got a fucking good tent. I've got a 4-season sleeping bag. I'm middle ground in everything. So I'm half a prepper. Yeah. Sad wings, mental cunt with a shed full of death. I respect that position. So again, we're not here to talk about tech, but I love arguing with the chat. The ones of you that are fucking 10 steps right of me. Yeah, I'm aware they're listening. Fucking spy cameras in your house. Apple, Tim Cook's watching me masturbate. I know. I'm kidding. I'm in my 40s. I don't do that anymore. I have enough trouble trying to shag my missus once a week. And she gets very, very angry if she doesn't get any cock once a week. It's difficult for me now I'm in my 40s. So masturbating is not on the fucking table. I haven't got the energy. I've got an American wife. Compared to English women, I'll tell you, the demons, they're constantly begging for cock. It's difficult to keep up with it. So wanking, that's a rarity in this day and age. Maybe that's why I don't mind the idea of Tim Cook lowering himself onto a vase whilst he's looking at my webcam. Look, I don't know where that came from. I'm just riffing. Is Tim Cook even gay? I don't know. Yeah, anyway, is he watching my webcam? Unlikely. If he is gay and he's lowering himself onto his vase whilst watching people's webcams, I'm assuming he's going to be like Batman. He's got like a bat cave and he's probably got thousands of people to watch. Young, attractive men, not balding 42-year-old bootnecks. So I'm confident and I don't do anything really illegal. So if Apple listen in every now and then, I don't care. Like I said, centrist person. In principle, I'm against spying. And in principle, I'm a liberal chap who will doubtless side with Sadwing's views on small government, limited government, the eyes and ears of the state, the Patriot Act. But I don't live it that aggressively because I like to be comfortable and I'm just not that ideologically possessed of it. Right? There's my middle road. Yeah. Sadwings gets it. He gets it. Right, so yeah, fuck Apple. I don't care. Tim Cook, pay him whatever he likes. The webcam lob off, yeah. Right, so yeah, Tim Cook deserves his 73 million. I don't fucking care. What did I say I wanted to segue into before I started talking about Tim Cook lowering himself onto his vase? Oh yeah. This fucking story. Let me just find this for you. Right. This is what Twitter's good for. I go on Twitter a lot because I like Twitter. Because if you share stuff on there, and it's like a nice way to save things that I can talk through when we're shooting the shit on here. So 241, it's that. I even saved it at the right point. This fucking lass has been one of the biggest sports reporters in the United States for years. And she's basically had to quit a job, decided to quit a job out of principle because she's aware that we're all getting the piss took out of us by these authoritarian communist shitbags, basically, is the short version. Listen to this, and then we're going to talk about it. And again, I hope the audio works because you never fucking know, do you?
All right. And it is that there are affinity groups on campus for my son's first best friend was a little African-American boy. They were inseparable. Get to a certain age, they start having what's called an affinity group, which means you go for lunch and pizza with people who look like you. Suddenly, my son wasn't hanging out with him anymore. Why are we?
How fucking bad is that? So, did you hear that, by the way? Yeah? The kid, she sounds like a normal, centrist, reasonable person. Like probably everyone in the chat is. Except Sadwings. The kid was best friends with a kid who happened to be black. Like I said, we don't fucking care. The woke communist scum call everybody racist and sexist and homophobic. Normal people, in my experience, normal working class people, you don't think of these things. If your kid comes home and he says, oh, this is my new best friend, George, you don't even think about it. You think, let's say he's a bit older as well. He's 10 or 11 or 12 and he's a bit camp. You don't think, oh, that kid's gay. I don't want my son hanging around with him. You don't care. You don't even register the colour or the sexuality. You don't care. Kid comes home, you don't give a fuck. And this is what I talked about. My best mate in primary school was Indian. Didn't even cross my fucking mind. I never thought about it. His mum just made friends with his mum and they went, oh yeah, they like hanging out together. And me and this kid, Neely was called, we used to be mates in primary school. For years, we were best pals. You don't even think about it when you're a child, and you don't think about when you're a reasonable, normal person. The kid made friends with a kid who happened to be black. Don't give a fuck. I wouldn't have noticed because I'm fucking from the 80s and I don't see colour. Apparently, that's wrong. Apparently, yeah, who knew? That's wrong. But the kid fucking makes friends with this black lad, and then the fucking school take them on affinity days where they only hang out with people who look like them. So yes, you heard her right. They take the kids on a fucking picnic and say, black only picnic, motherfucker. Poor little cunt. Seriously, took the kid on a black only picnic. Just play it again for those of you that missed it and you come in while I'm ranting.
All right. And it is that there are affinity groups on campus for my son's first best friend was a little African-American boy. They were inseparable. Get to a certain age, they start having what's called an affinity group, which means you go for lunch and pizza with people who look like you.
So there you go, right? So in the fucking world of created, little kids, best mates, don't care what you look like. There'll be loads of kids, won't there? It's America, it's a diverse country. There'll be Asian kids, black kids, white kids. They're all just having a crack. And then these scumbag, evil bastards take the little kids and go, up, time to divide you up by race, you cunts. And they get the little kids to go, you little white kids, no, you have to go and just hang out with the white kids. And you little black fellas, you go and hang out with each other. Oh, and you Asian fellas, you the yellow boys, you go and make your own little fucking group. And these fucking worms see people like me talking my perfectly reasonable, occasionally foul-mouthed shit. And they say, that man who doesn't see colour, who doesn't think about colour, and who doesn't care what your colour is, he's a bad person. While they segregate children by colour and teach them naked hate. Because it can't be a coincidence that she says, all of a sudden what?
Suddenly, my son wasn't hanging out with him anymore.
Suddenly, my son wasn't hanging out with him anymore. Weird that, isn't it? He was best mates with him. And then he goes on his little picnic, his affinity picnic with his fucking communist dirtbag teachers. And they say to him, have you heard about critical race theory? Do you know that kid who you used to be friends with? He's an oppressor. His people are evil. His people are despicable. Your people are victims. Well, you don't feel like a victim. You should feel like a victim. There's no equality in America. You should feel like a victim. As Whoopi Goldberg responds, listen to Whoopi, who, you know how many times I've defended Whoopi? It breaks my fucking heart. There's no one a bigger Trekkie in this channel than me. I guarantee it. None of you fucking losers in the chat. Losers have watched as much Star Trek as me. I've got that backwards, haven't I? None of you fucking losers have watched as much Star Trek as me. I fucking love Star Trek. I love Star Trek. I've defended Whoopi Goldberg. I defended her when she was talking about the 4B2s. I defended her when she was gobbing off about critical race theory. I've had it up to here with defending Whoopi. It breaks my fucking heart, but I think I've now crossed the Rubicon and I'm going to start talking shit about who was probably one of my favourite characters in Star Trek, Guinan. Guinan was fantastic on Star Trek. I know there's a few Trekkies in the chat. Let's talk it for a bit. Guinan was brilliant. She was way better ship's counselor than Troy. Troy's fucking useless. If you had a problem in fucking Star Trek and they said, go and see the ship's counselor, just like in real life, fuck the ship's counselor, go and have a pint. Right? It's just fucking. That's why Star Trek's so good. It's like it's multi-layered and it's right about real life problems. Right? Normal blokes don't want to go and lie on a fucking couch and talk to some middle class fucking slut bucket with a head full of fucking cow shit, because that's what she is. Troy is a middle class woke white woman with a head full of fucking fresh air. And if you go and see the ship's counselor, she's a fucking idiot. She doesn't know anything. She's fucking useless, Troy. And she's meant to be empathic. But half the episode, she's like, that planet over there, something dodgy's going on that planet. Fucking, I mean, think about it. They're in low orbit. See that continent there, I'm probably about 11,000 miles away from the person I'm talking about. But yeah, she's having a fucking bad day. And the next thing, there's someone sat on the couch in front of her and she's like, fuck knows what's wrong with you, you daft slag. Like, Troy's fucking useless. Guinan was fucking quality. Guinan was a great character. And the reason I always had a soft spot for Whoopi Goldberg is because she said she wanted to be on Star Trek, like she asked for the gig because she liked the show. And she seems like a nice woman. But she's just been consumed by the ideology. Listen to what she says here in response to this fucking nice lady who talks about the nice little black kid who hanged out with her son and she thinks it's sad that they're not friends anymore. Listen.
Why are we even teaching that the color of the skin matters? Because to me, what matters is your character and your values.
Yes, but you know, you live in the United States. You know that color of skin has been mattering to people.
Can't we change it that it doesn't?
We need white people to step up and do that.
But I think
we need white people to step up and do that. We need white people to step up and do that. Listen, Whoopi. You've done this, Whoopi, because I've been defending you for fucking 2 years, however long I've had a channel. Whoopi, you silly fucking bint. We need white people. Would you have got a TV gig if every white person was a fucking cunt? And you know, there's hundreds of millions of them. And some of them are cunts, and some of them, definitely not me, are saints. When you look at the way some white people behave, because again, I don't fucking care about colour. It's just humans. Some of them are nice. Most of them, 90% of them, are probably somewhere around the middle. 10% of them are just fucking cunts because of whatever there is in their head. And 10% of them, I'm definitely not one of them, are saints. There's people out there who just have an endless well of tolerance. It's fucking really weird. There's people who really will do a Jesus. You slap them on the left cheek, they offer the right. Some cunt slaps my left cheek, he's getting put on a fucking drip, son. Slap my left cheek, I'll fucking cripple you, you cunt. Right? That's normal. That's the majority. Yeah? Some people are saints, and some of those people happen to be white. Some of them are black. Martin Luther King, obviously, despite his philandering and his obvious flaws, we've all got flaws, but he had fucking tolerance in spades. People were cunt to him, and he's nice to them all the time. Lots of white people like that. Lots of Asian people like that. It's not a colour thing at all. It's a human thing. Some people have the fucking patience of a saint. And this fucking dumb, dippy fucking mayor who I've defended for fucking years has finally made me lose my rag. Because she's like, we need white people to do that. What have they been doing for the last 200 years? Would you have even had any success at all in the last 2 centuries in America if Whitey was an horrible, horrible cunt? Just like broad brush, like Whoopi's painting, just all of them. All of them. I don't see colour, I see human race. Most of us are flawed, jump around the middle. Some of us are scum, some of us are fucking saints. It's irrelevant what your colour is, but Whoopi Goldberg will sit there with a fucking straight face and say, we need white people to step up. They've been doing that for 2 centuries, you silly fucking mayor. Been doing it for 2 centuries. You would never have got a job on Star Trek if every single white person hated you. It wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't matter. Seriously, would it matter if you were a good actor? That's why the Catholics and Protestants had fucking problems in Northern Ireland, because when a Catholic or when a Protestant, or typically Protestants, owned a business or had a position of authority or a position of hiring and firing, they just hired the Protestants. You wouldn't have got a job if you were a good actor, if you were black. Every one of them would have went, I don't care if you're a good actor. Fuck you, you're not getting the job. I don't care if you're a good mathematician, you're not getting the job as the accountant. You would have got nothing. Nothing. This show wouldn't exist if all white people who haven't stepped up and had never stepped up, there would be no civil rights movement. It happened not because of pressure from a small minority, i.e. the black community. It happened because most of the white people, because they were in the fucking vast majority, you silly fucking mayor. Most white people said, what we're doing and the way we're treating black people is wrong. It's wrong. People shouldn't be treated like chattel. People should be treated with dignity. Most white people thought that, and that's why the civil fucking rights movement worked. Because white people started seeing it for what it was. Cruel. It's fucking cruel. It touches normal people. It touches me. If I watch an old film and you see some young black lad getting treated like a piece of shit just because of what he happens to look like, it angers you and it upsets you, and you go, you know what, that's not fair. That's the whole reason why people are against racism, because it's not fair, because you're judging people you know nothing about based off the looks. I told you, I think this is why most working class people in England are so good at being against racism in general, because it's exactly the same as the class society. I've got a chip on my shoulder about my class, because in England, when people hear my accent, they think they know me. There's people out there, honestly, I argue with them on Twitter all the time, the woke, the middle and upper class in Britain. So that is most of the woke. They think they're cleverer than me. They hear my accent and they go, oh, he's thick. Look at the way they talked with Brexit. They're all thick. And they're just thick. They didn't know what they were voting for. How fucking slowed do you have to be to even make that argument? We had years of debate. A decade. So long Farage was at it for. We had a decade of debate. We had pressure, unending pressure for fucking years. And only the constant pressure and the constant threat of the Tories made them eventually sign up for a fucking Brexit referendum. And then, as well as televised debates and every broadsheet newspaper, magazine, you fucking name it, talking about it at length, we even used the taxpayers' money to send a leaflet through everybody's doorstep. Right? Fucking, we used the taxpayers' money to send a leaflet to your house. I can't think of any other way you can say everybody knows what they need to know, unless you physically go around, get Harry the bastard and his bailiffs to come round, spread your testicles out on your kitchen table and nail a fucking flyer to your ball sack, right? You've guaranteed through a 10-year process that everybody knows what they're talking about. And then upper and middle class twits who haven't got the common sense of a fucking house brick will say with a straight face, oh, you didn't know what you were voting for. Just pat me on the head like I'm a Down syndrome child with a fucking Buzz Lightyear packed lunchbox. Just pat me on the head. Go along, Mungo. Get yourself off to school, son. There, you off your pop. You fucking condescending scum. No wonder the working class grew to fucking loathe them. 10 years we talked about this. 10 years we talked about it. And then you want to pat me on the head like a mentally ill child and say, we'll make the decisions for you, little boy. No. Fucking no. Can I put it any more strongly? No cunting, shitballs, twat bastard, fuckface. No. No. You don't get to be that condescending when I am a better man than you. I've got more emotional fucking stamina. I've got more physical prowess, and I've got more backbone than you will ever have. Guardian reading fucking worm. You don't get to be condescending to me. I could crush you like a fucking bug. Owen Jones is beneath me. Owen Jones is lower than a snake's ballsack. He doesn't get to talk down to me. He hasn't got the common sense. He hasn't got the IQ I've got. I fucking know for a fact. If we took an IQ test, I'd beat him. But I've got more common sense, more general knowledge, a better understanding of British history. I've got biceps like sacks of smash gravel, and I could fucking twist his head off without a second's effort. I could beat him to death by twisting my balls. I can just battering him around the head with my fucking nuts. The man is beneath me in every way. And he thinks he can pat me on the head and say, sorry, you only had a 10-year debate, so you must fuck, and I'll make all the decisions for you. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. We're all equal in the fucking voting booth. You absolute fucking scumbag. And if you don't like the votes, like I keep saying, we can't advocate violence, but what we can say is this. We invented the voting booth because it's the only alternative to violence. That's it. Again, how many times have I got to say this? People who know human history, the history of our warlike race, know why we have votes. And we know why you have to always respect the vote. Because there is no alternative but violence. That's how it works. We either line up on a big field and we kill each other until there's a winner, or we have a vote and we say you might be angry that the orange god won this election, but don't worry, it's only a few short years and then you will have another vote and then you might win that one, and then you might get to put a piss-soaked, gibbering simpleton that talks about fucking corn pop and pubes and roaches and random shit whilst the whole world points and laughs. Yeah, we've lost another war in Afghanistan. We've lost. And maybe that'll piss you off, Sadwings. Not much does, because you've got a sense of humour like me, but it pisses me off because I'm an American now. We used to talk shit about everybody else when I was in Afghanistan. When I was in Afghanistan, us and the Yanks, we used to laugh, get together when we were doing actual work, advancing to contact in Helmand province. We used to laugh about the French and the Germans. We'd be on at march, advance to contact patrol. We used to literally go out on patrol in Kajaki. We used to march, advance to contact, push the forward line of enemy troops. We used to go out, literally walk towards the enemy until they fired at us. And then we'd fucking kill the cunts. Right? And we used to laugh and joke about the French and the Germans. Kabul International Airport, KIA is the acronym. KIA. Kabul International Airport. So we used to call it Kaya Napa. So the Americans in the chat, that's Kaya. Kaya Napa is like a Greek holiday resort where all the British teenagers used to go on the piss. So we used to take the piss out of the French and the Germans because they were at Kaya Napa. We used to go, those cunts in Kaya Napa. We're out, killing the enemy. They're in Kaya Napa, getting drunk and fucking each other. And look at us now. Look at us now. America is militarily, the United States is a laughingstock. Because at least the French and the Germans, when they were running the bar, at least the bar worked. At least they had a nice, efficient bar. All the fucking beer was cold. The fucking dance floor was fucking swept every morning. At least the bar was sorted. In America, we've had 50% of the world's defense budget. 50% of the world's defense budget for 70 fucking years, and we can't win a war. Seriously, it should make you angry, Sadwins, because it fucking makes me angry. I've been an American taxpayer for 8 years. 50% of the world's military budget, and all we do is lose. We are fucking losers. If you're an American soldier, you should be angry. Because the public we are so sorely led by our woke admirals and our woke, thoroughly modern Smiley fucking Miley, the woke communist admiral. We are so sorely led in this country that we've spent trillions of dollars and we keep losing wars. We keep losing wars. I keep talking about the fucking fumes. This type of shit, I have made Americans angry doing this because I remember almost getting in a fight with an American soldier in a brewery in Alabama. But we're losers. We are losers. All the gear, no idea. We keep losing. We lost in Vietnam. We lost in Afghanistan. Every time we have a fucking war, we lose. So why the fuck are we constantly going, oh yeah, America, we're the best. Yeah, we're the best. We're fucking losers. The first step in clearing yourself of a problem is admitting you've got a problem. And America has a leadership problem. We spend all that money and we keep losing. We're fucking losers. We're losers. At least the British don't spend fuck all. So yeah, they're a bit shit. But with what they've got, they do quite well. Right, so just to totally shit on any British people who are going to get smug in the comments, Britain is shit as well, right? We couldn't invade any cunt. We couldn't win a war against France now. So I don't want any Brits getting fucking cocky. But at least the British budget's small. At least the British try and do the best with what they've got. We fucking piss 50% of the world's military spending up the wall every year. And we're a bunch of losers. We can't even beat the Afghans. We can't beat a bunch of illiterate, goat-herding fucking peasants. We're a fucking joke. So please, Americans, stop with that. Oh yeah, we're the toughest in the fucking world. We fucking suck. We've got all the gear, no idea. We are sorely led. I'm not having a pop at the fighting men on the ground. I know that they have the will to fight. I know the US Army and the US Marines, if they were told, sorry lads, you've got to catch a deployment every 3 years for the next fucking 20, they'd keep going. They'd keep going. It's not a manpower issue. It's sorely led. So we're fucking losers. We're a nation of fucking losers. Britain's the same. We're on the fumes of World War II. We've been sorely led for fucking decades. And that's just a fucking fact. Don't know why I went onto an insane rant about the military there when I was talking about Whoopi Goldberg being a shit for brains communist twat. But yeah, I went there. Who cares? Yeah, that story's fucking shocking. I'm glad I played you it. Whoopi Goldberg, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself, and I'm sick of defending you. You silly fat cunt. You look at the state of you. You look like she's basically got a body like a big black, it's just a black bin liner full of fucking jelly and ice cream. Just a fucking mess. Looks like, look at the fucking clip of her. Silly fucking mare. Whoopie fucking iceberg, yeah. Look what she's wearing. She's had to pinch that fucking, that's a circus tent you're wearing, you silly fat cunt. It was like a funeral for, they winched the corpse of an 800-pound morbidly obese documentary Jerry Springer fat fucker, winched him out of his house at his fucking funeral, and then used the tarpaulin for fucking Whoopi's latest fucking dress. What a load of shit. Silly cunt. I can't believe I've spent 2 years. Whoopi, why'd you make me do this? Why'd you make me do this, Whoopi? I was trying to look out for you. Stupid sentiment. Looking out for Guinan. You're a fucking communist disgrace. You're hateful. The people are what they call you. Like I keep saying, they are what they call you. They call you racist. They're fucking racist as fuck. We don't see colour. We don't care about colour. The working class communities are the ones who've integrated foreigners in the UK for decades. Decades. They don't ditch them in Knightsbridge. They send them to Middlesbrough. They send them to Hartlepool. They send them to rough northern towns. They fill them with foreigners. And we are the ones who send our kids to school with them and give them fucking fish fingers and chips for the tea twice a week when they come round to watch cartoons. We are the ones that integrate black and brown people. Middle class, upper crust fucking woke cunts are the ones that are racist. And Whoopi Goldberg, by her own mouth, can we fucking judge her? She is a racist fucking bitch. She doesn't like you just because you happen to be white. She thinks that every single one of all 350 million whitey in the world are evil. And they've never done anything to step up to forward race relations, as if fucking 100 million Americans didn't usher in the civil rights for black people because they all kept looking at what was going on and saying, that is unfair, it's cruel, it's fucking heartless, it's shocking, we have to stop. We freed the fucking slaves. We did it. You couldn't have done it on your own because you're a minority. That's the way it works. The fact that black and brown people have a good life in America and in England and in France and in everywhere else that's European is because of the forbearance, tolerance, and reasonableness of the white majority. And that's a simple fucking fact. Yeah, there's some racists, but they're a small percentage. Only by swaying the majority was the civil rights successful for the black community in the United States. And this fucking bint wants to shit all over all of it and everybody that happens to not have a tan and say, you know what, Whitey's got to step up, motherfucker. Give your fucking head a shake, you silly cow. Seriously, at least have the self-awareness to look in the mirror and go, you know what, I'm a fucking bad person. I'm a bad person. Millions of fucking white people, millions of them, wept tears of shame when they saw how black people were treated. So they said, we've got to fucking give them the rights and the freedoms. And you shit all over everyone's fucking balls when you come out with this bollocks on a TV show with your daft fucking ginger mate. And again, the names of them all, Whoopi, Happy and Joy. Fucking names of them, Joy Reid. There has never been a more miserable cunt. How you've got people called Whoopi and Joy, and they're about as interesting, and they're about as interesting to listen to as a fucking flip-flop, and they're about as happy as someone who's just had the chips pissed in by a tramp. A seagull's just pinched your chips and then shit up the front of your favourite sweater. That's how happy Joy is. Fucking raddled sluts, a lot of them. I tell you, honestly, the view is shocking. Shocking. Just naked hatred. So hats off to, what's she called? This fucking nice lady, Michelle Tafoya. Hats off to her. By the way, she looks to be a little bit ethnic in some description. Hats off to her. Hats off to everybody, the majority of black and brown people and Asian people in the world that aren't communists. Hats off to them for being as tolerant and reasonable as most white people happen to be. Because it's not colour, is it? It's just people. It's working class people rubbing along. These people are teaching children to hate each other. They're segregating by colour and sending them off on the little picnics and filling their heads full of horse shit and saying, don't hang out with the little white kid anymore because they're oppressors and they hate you. Fucking despicable. It's despicable. That fucking story is one of the most shocking things I've seen all fucking year. All right? Christ, it's nearly an hour. I got Raj then. Let's have a look at Twitter. That'll cheer me up. I'll have a drink. Whoopi fucknuts. Why do you do this to me, Whoopi? I'm trying to look out for you. Fucking bitch. Oh yeah, look what's gone on in Canada is shocking as well. Seriously. They're just stealing. They're just stealing off working class people. Again, Black Lives Matter, BLM, middle of the pandemic, protested, went apeshit, killed a load of policemen, burnt everything down. No, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Bunch of fucking women and kids on bouncy castles having a crack. Emergency war powers. It's nakedly obvious what's going on. But like I've said, it's Canada's fault. It's Canada's fault. You knew what you were getting with Trudeau. He does exactly what he says on the tin. You knew what you were getting with him. And you insisted on fucking voting him in for a second term. So, sorry, lads. You knew what you were getting. Yeah, there's the affinity picnic I was talking. That's what it is, an affinity picnic. Drag kids away from the mates and indoctrinate them to hate. We're at war with these people. The commies have fucking got the bit between the teeth. And like I said, I don't think we vote our way out of this. I don't think it's going to end with affinity picnics and stealing truckers' fucking money off them. We'll see. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm fucking wrong. Right, that's over an hour. You can have that for free, you cunts. The link, if you give a flying fuck, I'll get it up on YouTube. Let me have a look. Double audio. YouTube's got a bit of a delay on it, hasn't it? I think I've fixed it right, so I have got a PayPal now. I linked it through Ko-Fi, but I think they all go to the same place. If you want to try and get some shit out, again, I don't care. I don't need your money. But if you want, I need some system to filter people's names out, right? I'm not trying to fucking make a killing. I've made about 90 quid in 3 months. What's that? I'm not trying to make a killing. but I have to have a system for thinning the numbers, yeah? Because there's nearly 10,000 subscribers. I can't just randomly pluck names out the fucking air. I mean, first of all, they won't be watching, so I'm not going to be able to get their address off them to send them the bastard thing. So they have to do something. So there's no fucking limit. Send me £1. I'll put your name in the ad. That's it. There's the link. Thanks for watching. I'll draw it tomorrow, and then we'll talk about news, and I'll have another pop at some thoroughly deserving communist piece of shit while I'm at it. All right. Thanks for watching. And actually, I've got a day off, and my missus isn't here, so I might pre-record something. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all very soon. And yeah, tomorrow. Be there or be square. Take it easy.